Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
What up, what up, what up? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IG, Rumble. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Yo. Friday right around the corner, man. So how we feeling? How we feeling? How's the week been to you? How's the people at work been treating you? How you treating yourself? Glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. I'm glad to be here with you guys one more day above the dirt. I got my partner in the building. Jason is off on vacation right now, so I send my best regards, my thoughts and prayers to him and the family. Hope he enjoys himself. He'll be back next week. But I got somebody just as special instead. If you're not familiar with him, get familiar. He's going to be with us every weekend. I got something that I wanted to discuss. This one is especially important. And I don't know if we take this as serious as we should. So we're going to break this one down. If you have any thoughts, any comments, any agreements, disagreements, leave your thoughts in the comments section before, during, or after the stream. If you want to stay in contact, this is where you can reach me at. Everything is at the bottom. You want to support, show love. Also, do me a solid, like, share, subscribe, repost. Let everybody know that we are on. This is a adult conversation. This isn't for anyone under the age of 18. This is like some real life. We need to have these heart to heart. So let me do this real quick. I want to bring my partner up here, and we'll get into this evening's discussion. Hold on a second. I want to give him a chance to dictionary. I need him to be straight. But like, to give y'all some context, the reason why I brought this particular subject up is because I think that given the circumstances with Carlo's story, with what's going on, just all of the stuff that's happening right now, you see up and down your timeline on the news around you. People are depressed. People are going through shit. I felt like this is a season where we need to really reevaluate what we're feeding ourselves. Let me see. What you are, what you consume, the circle that you keep, the people that you listen to, the men and women that you lay down with, the books that you read, the type of content that you are bringing within yourself on a regular basis, the music that you listen to, the lyrics, all this stuff, it factors in to how you're going to end up being later on, whether or not you're going to be a contribution to your household or you're going to be a problem to the community. Where it's like we blame everybody else for why we lack. We blame everybody else for why our relationships suffer. We blame everybody why economically we aren't in the spaces that we could be in, why our potential is wasted, why our love life is horrible, why our confidence is lacking, why we don't see ourselves in the same ways that other people see us, why our faith is all over the place. And a lot of this, if I'm gonna be honest, it comes from upbringing, right? Your environment is a part of it, but it's also important that we acknowledge the fact that our family grew up a certain way. And this isn't to take shots at anybody personally, but when you grew up a certain way, there are things that you observe from your parents and from your uncles and cousins, and you look at them as motivation, as inspiration, as leaders, as women, as men that's out here in the world doing things conducive to our neighborhoods and things of that nature. And then what you fail to realize is they are just as prone to falling short as the next person. What's going on, sir? You here?
Yeah, what's going on, sir? How you doing tonight?
If you had a favorite cousin or favorite niece, or I'm good, man. Just trying to get to the heart of some stuff. I think that right now it's time to get rid of some of the toxic traits and thinking. Really reassess how we're approaching our walk, how we're dealing with our problems, how we're dealing with our own personal demons, breaking generational curses, programming the perceived things to be. My initial statements is a lot of this from upbringing, how you were raised, and what you observed as you kind of got older. If you had people around you that were in the street, you might kind of adapt to that that lifestyle, or you might look at it and glorify it, because just depending on how you are, it can really affect you in some type of way. So really, I'm just using that as an example. It could be anything. You could be a doctor and be inspired. You don't have to be a trapper. It could be a number of things that a child sees in their that would make them think that this is okay to do, or this is okay to do, or oh, I want to do that. And it really just depends, you know what I'm saying? So my questions typically just come with, all right, why do we need to constantly work on ourselves? Why is it so important to always update the way that you view life, view yourself? Why is it important to think highly of yourself? Why is it important in life? Why is it important to have a clean spirit, a clean? What's causing me to be heavy? What's causing me to be weighed down? What's causing me to be constantly looking over my shoulder, or under some type of strife? Now, when you take a title and the topic is itself, what comes to your brain? What are you automatically thinking about?
When you breaking generational curses, it's a challenge. You know, that's what come to me. It's definitely a challenge. I hear everything you said about your upbringing. You know, like I was saying in the last one, everybody's background ain't the same. So that's your story. You know, everybody got their own personal story. And when it comes to leveling up, you have to you got to take what you've been through, everything that you've been through, and use that as the guidelines to leveling up and bettering yourself. And you have to also, you got to learn from other people's story, because like I said, we all got our own story, but yet and still, I believe that you can learn something from somebody else, or you know, anybody that come in your life, they can probably give you some jewels on how you can move through your situation. So I think that's the connect, and that's the key to improving as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I don't mind learning from somebody else that's been through it, because you gotta go through it to get to it. That's what I believe. You got to go through it to go ahead and get to it.
You know what I noticed is a big problem? People seem to think that when you hit a certain age, that's it. You just don't learn anymore. Or you hit anywhere above 25, 30 years old, and that's it. You just think you got it all figured out. You're the smartest person in the world. You're the most wisest. You got all the codes to the problems. You can just unlock all the magic. You can break free of all of the chains and oppression, depression, suppression. Economically, you good. Spiritually, you good. Mentally, you good. But when you look at social media and you see the mental health, or you see how people carry conversations or conduct themselves when they don't hear or like something that is being said to them, in response is always met with gaslighting, is always met with evasion, is always met with combativeness. We never really get to any problems. And then you have men and women who associate being men and being women with their sexual prowess, with their ability to have multiple partners, or their ability to accumulate income based on their body shape and their aesthetics. And they develop these egos where they feel as they can just walk through every door and they don't have to wait in line for nothing. They don't get to be told no. They can just get married and have the husband and have the lifestyle. You can be a street dude and run for president. You can be a drug dealer and get Mary Poppins to say I do. It's a lot of weird wiring instilled in a lot of us, and that's really bothering me a lot. I'm this is where I'm at with everything that we see in how has any of this worked out for anybody? How has being a boss babe or a hood dude or a NBA, NFL player, or rapper, how has anybody worked out for you? We just did a story on Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is under fire right now for his indiscretions. Floyd Mayweather is allegedly going broke for dealing in some type of housing scam. DDG talking about he might be going broke. Sexy Red is women's examples for being independent and being the ideal candidate for marriage. So what the fuck are we really talking about here? What are we really doing? What are we teaching kids? What are we teaching other adults when we like and share and repost this ridiculous bullshit that suggests that this is sexy, this is fun, this is cool, it's all right to argue back and forth with somebody without coming to any type of solutions? What's the point of any of this shit if it doesn't reach a destination that doesn't land you in jail or prison? I yield the mic, but I pose this train of thought to you because I want to know from your landscape, because our point of views typically cross. Sometimes we are like this, and then other times it's like we're kind of all over here. So like, what are, from social media to what you see in real life to the personality trait, all that shit, what are you noticing? What are your concerns? Do you have any? I turn it to you.
I mean, of course. I mean, when you talk, you talking influence. You know, like you mentioned, Sexy Red. Of course, she's influencing the younger crowds, just like we spoke about, you know, in the past with Lil' Kim. I remember being in high school, and that was the thing, and all of Kim, and you know her background, you know what she did with Biggie Smalls and all of that. So that was a heck of an influence. That was a heck of an influence. Certain jeans that they used to wear and stuff like that. It was an influence coming up. But when you talk about leveling up, you gotta use your flaws. Everybody got flaws. You gotta use your flaws and your failures as stepping stones, man. I think that's when it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use everything that was aimed to tear you down or keep you back. You gotta use all that to move forward, to take a giant leap. I mean, you only know your own story. You only know what's out here. You know the influences. You know You know, if you get on drugs, you know that's gonna tear you down. You know that. You know, if we've been alive long enough to know if you get in the game, what's gonna lead you. You're gonna be in jail, or you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be in that ground, you're gonna be in that dirt. So I mean, everything been laid out, you know what I'm saying? Choose your path, but choose the right path though. You see what I'm saying? Because it get hot in that kitchen. You already know it get hot in the kitchen. Hey, whatever path you choose, hey, you got to stand on that stuff. That's what I say. So be wise, and learn. Also, learn from people that already did it. Like I mentioned that before, but I can't stress that enough, because a lot of these youngins out here today, we just did the 2 stories the other day. They, they needed some wisdom. So they be lacking wisdom, man. You got to pick these old guys' heads, man. They got experience. That's how you overcome and jump over some hurdles that's in your way. They can tell you how to do it, but you gotta want to learn though, because I mean, I think we talked about it before. Some of this younger generation, we all been there. You know, we know more than what we show, and then we find out that we need to go back to school and learn again. So it depends on the individual. Certain individuals is thirsty for knowledge. Certain individuals want to stay stuck. So that's them.
My concern is that it doesn't really make a difference how methodical you are, how heartfelt you are. You can give all these explanations as to why you shouldn't do this and why you shouldn't do that, and it's not going to really make a difference. I'll be completely honest with y'all, man. Most of us, we would love nothing more than to go back to the 80s and back to the 90s and relive this shit all over again. Real talk. And not because we want to rewrite history, but we understand the value of time. See, right now, we're 30, 40 plus, and the pressure and the weight and the expectancy of showing up and being productive has pretty much taken a toll on the majority of us, because all of us aren't Fortune 500 workers out here. We're not on Jet magazines and hitting 6 figures a year. We're on that conveyor belt, standing right there in that faculty line, pushing the product while they aged without having to do and be under the same type of stresses and worries and concerns that we are. This generation doesn't have the same difficulties that we did. You're more spoiled, you're way more coddled, and you have way more access to things that you shouldn't have access to, things we shouldn't have had access to, but we got introduced to it, and we got introduced to it specifically so that it would dry rot our brain. Now, when you have conversations, they're short, they're emojis, or you're throwing temper tantrums because you don't know how to have discord. You don't know how to have relationships. You don't know what a relationship really reflects or looks like. You think having a lot of sexual experience holds value to it. You honor the internet and its opinions more than you honor your family's opinions and their perception of you. Selling your body and prostituting yourself out, putting your children in front of the camera, dancing, advertising them, knowing that there's nothing but sick, perverted men and women preying on these children every single day, and you still parade them around on the internet. What has to be going on in a person's mind to think that stuff like that is okay? See, when I come up here and I talk about the dynamics between men and women or whatever it is I'm speaking on, it's always on neutral playing field. A lot of your talking points when you jump up here on this screen is coming from somewhere. It's coming from hurt, anger, resentment, or some type of negative experience. And it transitions over into the talking points that you want to cover. There's some things that I want to address here in a second, but I'm going to turn it back over to you. I figure you got something that you want to say.
No, you fine. You fine, bro.
Yeah. Put it this way. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but if God is not number one in life, everything else will fail. Either it's going to fail right away or it's going to fail incrementally. Because see, God is the one who sustains your life, your breath. He's the one who gets rid of the stress that goes on within your body. He's the one who can regulate your emotions. He's the one who can stop things from happening that are tempestuous towards you. He gives you purpose. He gives you a reason to want to make money. He gives you a reason to want to smile, to want to be in love, to want to have family of your own. He is the reason why you want to celebrate life and enjoy it and embrace it. He's the reason why you have income. He's the reason why you feel anything. And what I've noticed is that we've removed him from a lot of these conversations. And when you remove God from the conversation, you allow other forces to take place of the spirit. And when you have other entities venturing within your body, you are prone to be tempted. You are prone to be curious about sin. You are prone to want to experiment. You are prone to want to lie. Physically, emotionally, allowing other forces inside of your vessel that's supposed to be pure and clean does nothing for you but distort and disrupt the frequency and translation and transmission between you and your creator. You're basically forfeiting your peace, your confidence, your identity for trivial portions that the world hands out to you, as if it's going to identify you as a man or a woman or a leader or a independent alpha or female, which don't exist. It don't work that way. You remove God and you get online, you get on the internet and you listen to Cardi B, you listen to Megan Thee Stallion and all of these women talking about shaking their ass, and to get over a dude, you gotta sleep with another dude. Y'all keep listening to that shit and y'all keep getting knocked up and keep on getting your ass beat by these dudes because you're conditioned and trained to identify them as men of value. And the shit has to stop. And for whatever reason, people don't seem to think that these conversations matter or that they need to be done, but they're absolutely necessary. I yield the mic.
All right. Yeah, you covered a lot on that one, man. You covered a lot on that one. First, I like to get into just being self-aware of yourself and your personal growth with yourself. I feel like a lot of those situations that you just mentioned with, people getting hooked up with the wrong people, or they like to engage with the wrong things, it's because I don't feel like people was in tune with knowing themselves. So a lot of people out here that's 30, 40, even 50, 60 years old out here, and they just stop doing what the race do, what everybody else is doing out here, the trend, and they finally settle down and they say, dang, I finally get to know what I want, or what's in it for me, what's going on with myself. So you see, the problem is everybody trying to be in this trend and do what everybody else do. We talked about it before. There's a lot of copycats out there. It's a copycat league. The women like to, like to put on wigs. They like to throw lashes on, look like a damn falcon. This is crazy. It's dudes out here that's getting their fingernails and shit painted. You know what I'm saying? It's some wild generation stuff out here that you won't see. And I feel all of that is a cover up. It's a clone for them not learning they self. You have to learn yourself before you can, find out which direction you're gonna go. So that's when I come up to the solution that you see a lot of lost people out here. You do. They in situations that they really shouldn't be in. They don't know why they in, and then they question themselves. But the whole time, all you really doing is running from reality, running from yourself. It's hard. It's hard, but take a good look. You gotta be with yourself for the eternity, for this whole lifetime, however long or short it is. You know what I'm saying? That's all you. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like there's a lot of people that learn that lesson later on in life instead of getting it from the jump or getting it passed down to them at an early age, so they can kind of move in a better way out here. You know what I'm saying? You can't jump into shit and then when shit get bad, you know what I'm saying, people want to hide from the consequences and of they choices. If you got good direction, you'll make a better choice. If you don't have a good direction, most of the time you're gonna make the wrong choice. That's just what it is. You just got to deal with the consequences, learn from it. It's called life. and just don't do that shit no more. Learn and do better. I ain't gonna say let's do better. Do something different. Do what you always should have did. You know what I'm saying? Stop following the crowd. Be a standout, and then you'll see a change. You know, you'll see a change within yourself. But I think that's a major issue. Is that it's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of copycats out here, and everybody want to do what the next person doing instead of looking on their own damn paper. Look on your own paper and see what's going on over there. I yield.
I think individuality is gone too. I really think individuality is gone because every post is copied. Someone is recycling the same conversational pieces. Someone is copying the same dress and hair code. Everybody is doing the hair and makeup tutorials or talking about the grifting and how men ain't this and how women ain't this, but no one is really saying, look, this is what needs to be done here. How dare you? This is your fault. You had a play in this. You're selfish. You're egotistical. You didn't get healed. You didn't get therapy. You point the finger at everybody else. You're constantly in this echo chamber of delusion with a bunch of men and a bunch of women who don't know that they're just setting you up for disaster because they secretly want to see you fall and fail. You ever been around people who know the truth, but they still lie to you anyway because they just want to see you fall into the trap? It's plenty of people out here that's like that. It don't really seem like it, but it really is. But individuality seems to be a rare thing. Like to get up here on social media and say whatever the fuck you want and be honest about it. Like if you said that the shit that these women be doing up here, being bare ass naked and this, that, and the third, that shit is not what men want. You should be able to say that freely. If you say children should not be on the internet, they should not have cell phones at 5 and 6 years old, that's real shit. If you want to talk about politics, you want to talk about sports, if you want to talk about religion, if you want to talk about let's heal, let's find out why I'm a compulsive liar, let's talk about why I think that men should kiss my ass and I'm not supposed to do anything for them. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how come I'm so selfish, why I'm so self-involved, why I don't want to participate, why I don't want to help. Let's talk about why I'm training my children to be racist. Let's talk about that. People's minds are wired. It's almost like fucking Stranger Things. Vecna controls all of the fucking monsters in the Upside Down, in the hive mind. Anything they think, anything they feel, he feels the shit. If he wants to send out an assignment, he does the shit. It's like everybody is connected to that one root, and they follow the same formula, the same signs over and over and over again. They don't feel. I'm watching a video on fucking Twitter like an hour ago. The mom is in a space with her daughter, which is probably like 3 years old or 4 years old, and then there's a little white girl that's probably about the same age, and they're playing with some stuff in there. The little Caucasian girl does something that the black mother doesn't like. The black mother is sitting here telling her child to knock the shit over. Every time the white girl picks over, Karen's gonna have to deal with it. Fuck Karen. And what is that shit? What is that? Why would you raise your children? You ever wonder why we get stuck in these mindsets of being negative towards other genders, or why we hate ourselves, why we hate our culture, why we fight and shoot and kill each other? Maybe it has something to do with the way that you think. This is a grown-ass woman. You old as shit, sitting up here telling your 3-year-old to be disrespectful and to be ignorant. And I'm black, and I'm telling you that shit was ignorant. And it's like everybody is on the same patterns. Well, this is the only way. This is the only way to deal with other people that disagree with us or don't like what we're doing, even if we are wrong. This is how you handle it. This is how you deal with the opposite gender. If the man doesn't like the way that I'm acting, oh well, fuck him. This is who I am. I'm selfish. I want. If the man can't deal with that, fuck him. It's going to be another dude that's going to give me everything I want. You ain't getting corrected for your fucked up attitude and your behavior. You think this shit is sweet, and nobody is checking it or putting you in a place to be available to understanding that mindset is going to keep you alone, or it's going to keep you in arguments, getting arrested, getting you fired, getting you in spaces where you don't have friends. People are walking on eggshells around you. They don't really want to have any type of conversation with you because you think everything is supposed to go your way. You think you're just not wrong about nothing. You think that you're the one that's constantly in power, or you're a guy who just gets to fuck every single thing that you see because the women flock to your toxic shit, thinking that the toxic shit is what makes a husband. No, a man of God is what makes a husband. A man of God is what makes a husband. That makes a household. That makes a home. But y'all are under the assumption that a dude with a ginormous penis is the way to salvation. Big penis, tall, rich, tells you to shut the fuck up. He's the key. He's the gate master. Ghostbuster reference. Y'all probably too old or too young for that. But y'all mindset, man. Y'all would rather argue than have a rational discussion about something that you disagree with. You don't have no control, no patience in traffic. You're killing kids. You're killing kids. You're sleeping with them. You're adult teachers fondling kids and students. What's going on up here? God is not present. He can't be present. His only presence in the only evidence that he's there is the fact that you're still breathing and walking and talking and spending money and taking shits and washing up and getting in the shower and posting and reposting and retweeting. That's the only evidence of it. But are you really an example that he exists? Are you?
Yeah, that part right there. That part. And I think I'm saying that's a lifetime journey, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a lifetime journey. The line is nobody's perfect. Everybody got flaws, and people just gotta come to grips with that of themselves. And you can't expect perfection out of another person if you're not on that level. You're not delivering it. You're not showing up for yourself. So it starts with you. You gotta work on all your flaws, and then you can venture out. But if you can't clean up the mainframe, then you don't need to be advising anybody to do anything without putting the mirror on yourself and be an example for what you're doing for you. You can't control nobody. It's a lot of control freaks out here. They think that that everybody only can do it their way. But newsflash, you can do it a lot of ways, and you still can win. You still can overcome. You still can be successful. It's a lot of ways out here, good people, and you got to find what's best for you. That's what I say. Find out what's best for you and stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? If people want to crash out, and hey, we in the new era right here. It's a lot of crash dummies out here. They very impulsive. It goes back to the upbringing that we started out talking about what the hell was they around. Most of these kids, like we talked about, they didn't see it. They didn't have a daddy. There's kids out here that don't have no father. They get lied to. The mom lied to them and stuff about, you ain't gonna see your dad, or your dad don't want to see you. I mean, all of that's a reality. You know what I'm saying? But it plays a role in the development. It plays a role in the development of the kid, and it's a psychological thing. And now they grow older, not getting what they supposed to get, and now they robbing banks. Now they doing bids. They doing time because they handicapped, because they got mental breakdowns. They emotionally damaged, spiritually damaged. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways to improve yourself, but you just gotta be honest and be conviction and accountability for improvement to what you can do. And that's really the bottom line, people. You can't make nobody do nothing. If they wanna go and crash out and hey, if they want to be a pass around chick, then let them do it. Let them do it. That's their story. That's something that they gotta find out what's the end of the road for them. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the road, they're gonna be like, I shouldn't have never been this type of person, and yeah. It just take people longer. Certain people learn the concept later on in life, and some people learn it early. That's why I say everybody's journey is their own. Is their own to find out. And what I mean by journey, I mean journey with the man up top, because he see everything that you're going through, everything that you're doing good, everything that you're doing wrong. He know everything that he got set up for you, and he want to see if you going to fulfill your promise while you're here. So that's what I got, man. You just gotta lock in and get in tune with self. You gotta get in tune with self before you can get in tune with anybody.
You know what else I want to add to? When I said individuality, I'm talking about you're independent of another person's point of view. You know right and wrong, but you don't conform or try to identify yourself to fit into something that is objectively going to take you to prison or put you in a horrible spot. All the people that are on social media, all the people we come across on a daily basis, when we step off of the camera and we clock in or we get in our car and we put that cigarette to our mouth or we put that bottle to our mouth, you know that liquor isn't good for you. You know smoking isn't good for you, but you do it anyway. Who put you on to it? Who encouraged it? Are you really the leader in your own vessel? Are you really in full control of your body for real? I keep it honest. I sure as hell haven't been, and I wasn't. I got put on to smoking and drinking. That wasn't something that I just woke up one day and said, oh, this might be pretty cool. Let me go ahead and pick up a cigarette. It wasn't like that. I always thought they used to stink. I couldn't stand the smell, none of that shit. But I got accustomed to it. My body got accustomed to it. We ignore our body all the time. Our body rejects the shit. Your body rejects it by telling you you're about to throw up. You're nauseated. When you drink some liquor and your stomach starts churning and shit, and you're about to, that's your body's way of saying this shit ain't supposed to be in you. When you smoke and you start coughing, that's your body's way of saying that shit ain't supposed to be in you. When you have sex with people that you shouldn't be having sex with, and then they become addicted to it, they become psychos, controlling, jealous. That's your body telling you have been involved with them. Are submissive of you because of your attitude and how you talk to people and how you treat people. Where do you think they come from? A lot of people aren't living their truth. And I know that because every post looks exactly identical. Every single post looks the same. Why? Why every quote? Never pour more into a person than pour into you. I'll never ever do that again. Red pill this, blue pill this, men ain't this, women ain't this. Why is it the same shit over and over and over again? Why do you have to wait until you get 50 years old, get 60 years old to really understand? No. I think a lot of people just choose to bullshit around until they're too old to bullshit around, and then they want to start taking life serious. You've known for the longest time what you were doing. You just pushed it aside and tried to ignore it like it wasn't there in your face, telling you, you know, but you just wanted to keep doing what you were doing anyway. Now that your body is slowing you the fuck down, now you want to be about eating healthier. Now you're a vegan. Right. You know, let me ask you a
Wow,
question.
that's wild.
Why is it important to you to have your own individuality?
because you don't want to be you don't want to be a follower. You don't want to be a follower. You inspire to be a leader because people need inspiration. You know, if you can do it, you know what I'm saying, through your story and all of that, then you inspire to do it in their story. That's what I believe. Everybody needs motivation and all that. You know what I'm saying? Come out the little rut and slum that they in. And not only that, I mentioned the copycat. It's a copycat thing out here. You know, everybody trying to do stuff like everybody else. That's corny. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to separate yourself. You're not going to be an individual at the end of the day. They say you're just like this person. You do the stuff like this person. No, I do stuff like me. I want people to say I do stuff like me. And my last point is that I want to leave that legacy. And they're gonna be here forever. That legacy is gold. It's gold. It's the main thing. You gotta leave your legacy, you know, when you die. So you're 60, 70 years old and you so-called trying to live right or go to church or you so-called just figuring life out, man. Life, if you gotta wait that long, man, life whooped your ass. If you gotta wait that long to get it together, you got your ass whooped in life. A whole whooping. It could have been, you could have had like 15, 30 kids by these different women. Shit, you could have been a whole drunk. You could have been broke for a long time. You got your ass whooped to get it right. And I mean, don't get it twisted. Everybody, like I say, everybody goes through hardships. Everybody have a down moment in life. You can't get to the top of the mountain without knowing what the bottom is like. So let me put that on the table. That's facts. It ain't no easy ride. But at some point that ship should teach you not to keep every damn time. So it's up. I don't feel like this is up to the individual once again. And some people tolerance is a little higher than other people. Maybe they can handle their liquor or handle more liquor than somebody else. You know, that's facts. Maybe they can smoke more blunts than somebody else. The tolerant level count too. They got a high tolerance of pain. You probably gotta, you know, hit them with a crowbar or something to wake their ass up. But whatever it takes, to snap us back to life, guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen for you. Because that's what the journey is all about. It's about picking that ass up, getting it all together, figuring it out, and so you can pull through and leave your mark on this world. And when you're gone, when it's all said and done and you're gone, you live on. You get talked about. That's called the legacy. You live on.
You don't want to be like anybody else. Also, you don't want to go down a path that's going to take you to a place that you're not really certain exists or not. I believe in heaven and hell. You might not. But if you do, this is a pertinent time to really reevaluate who you're listening to, who you're following, what you're entertaining. And it's okay to be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I'm incorrect a lot. It's okay to say, all right, teach me something. Show me what I'm doing wrong so that I can improve and be a better person for myself, if not for myself, but for the people who care the most. You know, like, this is not a permanent visitation. This is temporary. This is it. Once you're gone from here, you're gone from here. I don't know about nobody else. I ain't got time to be trying to prove myself, trying to impress nobody about nothing to fit in or be accepted by. Whatever God wants me to have, that's what's going to be for me. And nobody take that from you. That's another reason why you should be more concerned about being your authentic self, so that you can obtain the things which are for you. Pursuing other people's fantasies and dreams is not going to cut it. I don't care how much you copy and paste another person's personality, their dress code, their features. You get your jawbone restructured, you add 20 pounds of fat to your butt. I don't care what you do. If it ain't you, you're not going to get what's for you. You're going to get what you want based on someone else's life. And it might not even be what you think it is spiritually.
That's what's on
That's
the
a hard pill
inside
to
that count.
swallow. That's why it always
What's on the
is.
inside
As much
that
as
count.
I'm not going to say the features don't have any type of significance to it, but nah, you're being superficial if you're basing everything off of a person's.
A lot of these people copy each other because they don't want to be original. They scared of standing out. They want to be like everybody else, but everybody got something different to bring to the damn game, man, that we need. You know what I'm saying? How are we gonna get to the end of the journey without getting it from another point of view? You know, that's robbing people of experiences and lessons that they need to grow from. It really help everybody grow if somebody brings something different to the game, man. But if we all trying to be twinning out here and we all trying to do the same thing, man, it's gonna be a lot of accidents. It's a lot of traffic like that. That's not cool. You know, these women are insecure. There's women out here that's real insecure, beautiful, gorgeous women that's insecure because they feeling something inside, bro. They got it. They all together. It's all together outside, but inside, you know what I'm saying? They ain't healed, man. They ain't fixed that person on the inside. Same thing with the fellas, man. Fellas trying to, you know what I'm saying, be this and that. Shit, you can if you're a nerd, man, be on top. Shit, I say be over Steve Urkel. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Be the best nerd you possibly can be. Because trying to get in somebody else's lane or dudes think that they can be a dope boy and all that to attract women and all that. That's corny, bro. That's corny. You're gonna crash. You're gonna crash and you're gonna be exposed and you're not gonna be successful that way. The only way you're gonna be successful is staying in your lane and doing things the way you are comfortable doing, because you are in your authentic self. And if you can't do that, then you are what everybody's pushing. You are what they're trying to be. You trying to copy someone else's style, and you already got your damn own. So just that's the problem out here. You already got something to bring to the table. Just let's bring it to the table. You got it.
You know, the problem with that is we clown and we troll and we make fun of people who think different or walk different or talk different or think different. We shit on people's dreams and their ambitions We shit on people and shit on people who dress. We shit on people and we ridicule people for talking with a white person accent. Oh, you're black, but you sound like a white person, so you can't be black. Oh, you're 115 pounds. You can't have no attractive woman. You make $30,000 a year. You can't have no model type woman. You dress like you've been electrocuted by butterflies. You can't deal with like these stupid shit. We make fun of people based on, and you got folks going all the way down the low end of self-esteem, hanging themselves and shit because grown men and women, they take what they put out there as a joke. It's funny, it's entertaining, but everybody does not move that way. Some people are really crashing out, or they're on their last legs. They need fellowship. They need women to be women, and folks aren't showing up. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot, bro. It really is. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset can make your day better, or it can make it crappier. You can go to work in a horrible mood. What you think is going to happen? The rest of your day is going to be horrible. You can go happy, and then someone test your patience. It's a number of factors that play into it. You don't have to respond to everything that people say. You can ignore. You can walk away from it. The point is, this has nothing to do with me or him. This is about you. When nobody is around, when you're looking towards your future and you're spending and you're in the shower or you're cooking or whatever the case may be, this is about you asking yourself, am I happy with where I'm at? Am I doing everything that I possibly can to be better? Am I living in the fullness that God intended? Not you yourself, but God intended. Because the way that you're living is probably why things ain't working out the way that you would hope they would. But you're pretending like it's all good and sweet when shit really ain't. Look at everything around us. Look at all the death. Look at all the pain. It's too much. It's way too much. And I really challenge people to ask themselves, are you as humble as you think you are? Are you as knowledgeable and receptive as you say you are? Are you really where you want to be at? Are you moving the way that you want? If you were example to children or someone coming up under you looking at you, are you an example to them? You getting 20 different penises ran up in you every week, and you got your little ones looking at different men coming in and out of your house, arguing with you and all that shit. Or if you're a guy, are you really being 100% a man when your woman is completely shitting on you, or you're not really holding down the household and doing what you're supposed to be doing to protect it and make sure it's safe, and make sure that your community is safe, that you're contributing to society in a way that gives more respect to the culture itself. It doesn't put everybody in this stigmatic, highlighted bullshit of, oh, he's just another typical such and such. He's just another one of them. You just are you standing on the inside or on the outside? Oh, You don't want to be called a pick me because you said something against what they do. Oh, you don't want to be that guy who said, nah, we us as men don't want to be called bro. Us as men don't want to be called child. Us as men don't want to be called anything other than by our name. The rest of that shit is for the birds. Don't call me bruh. Women shouldn't talk like that. Not no grown ass woman.
For the streets.
Condoleezza, she's not saying bruh. And as Michelle is saying bruh. And even though I don't really rock with Michelle Obama right now, she's not saying bruh. So yeah, man. It's time to do better, think better, feel better. All around, whether or not you're eating healthier or you're removing yourself from people who aren't really doing too much for you at all. Cut ties, cut relationships, cut friendships. Even if you gotta, I don't know, like, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you got to do to get to the next level. Chime on that. Please listen and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's real out here. I'm saying, like I say, go get that promotion. Take the trip that you've been bullshitting on. I know people want to get out and see the world. Don't stop holding yourself back. Do it. Book those flights and roll. And get what I say, get that promotion. Oh yeah, fix those relationships that you ain't trying to talk about. Go back and fix them relationships and mend the fence a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If it's possible, if it's there. You know what I'm saying? I won't advise nobody to invite toxicity back into their life. That's a negative. But other than that, man, do best for you. Take yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Smile a little more. It'll help. All that helps. You know what I'm saying?
My final remarks, my final thoughts on the whole subject. It's not your responsibility to fix something that can't be fixed. There's just a season for everything. Everybody wasn't meant to stay with you for long anyway. We just fuck around with people because it's fun at the moment until it's no longer fun and they don't align with what we are going after in pursuit of our own futures. You just reach that trajectory where you go one way and they go one way. That's all that is. Everybody ain't supposed to be with you forever. Everybody ain't your wife. Everybody ain't your husband. Most of them wasn't even supposed to be laying next to you or going to the movies with you and shit anyway. Some of them people were just passing by and you just invited them in. And instead of letting them go the fuck on with what they were doing, you should have just left them alone anyway. What? You should have left them alone anyway. But you didn't, and now you go through this transitional season with a person that takes you up and down this roller coaster, and now you have a part of them with you that you didn't need to. changes your mindset, your attitude, how you laugh, how you smile, how you react to people. You really gotta be cautious with who you invite in your life. You gotta be careful with who is in your life, where you insert yourself, the jobs you take, the love that you invest, how authentic you are with who you pour into. You got to be cautious of all that shit. And I hope that something said tonight helped somebody out. It made you think about something. Because I know I'm not the only one that's felt like this. I can't be. So I don't know if you got anything else you want to say before we get out of here, bro. But
Yeah, man. Pretty much what you said, man. You know, people just gotta focus on the positivity and not too much on the negativity, man. Improve your life, improve your surroundings. Go out and get your blessings. That's what I'm gonna put on it. Go out and get what's meant for you to have. You know what I'm saying? Don't let something temporary keep you from getting something that's long lasting. You know, don't we gotta be smart at how we move out here, good people, and I know we can do it. You know what I'm saying? Go out and get advice. That's another thing. Get advice from people. You know, go out and get information. You don't be a know-it-all motherfucker because you don't know everything. That takes us back to the beginning. We're here where we at currently, but where we going, we need information. So, don't be afraid to learn so you can get to the next level. Oh, and closing,
also,
it is draft day today. Draft day.
you can't get anything until you cut off the shit that you shouldn't be holding on to. So if you really want that progression and you want them blessings, you know who you need to cut off and who you need to walk away from, but you ain't doing it. Whether it's a person or it's something inside of you that you're carrying with you. Until you release it and really, don't pick it back up. You know what I'm saying? By the way, you looking like Candyman and shit in all that darkness, man. I feel like if I say that shit 5 times, you just gonna pop up.
Hey, it ain't Halloween, but
That's
what's
the
up?
sun. Nah, I appreciate you for pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody in the building who tapped in tonight. The virtual app open mic. I said Apple. The virtual open mic tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got a whole lineup for the weekend as well. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, repost, share, let the people know we are here to stay. And yeah, man, love to y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Tomorrow's Friday. I know I ain't the only one that's happy about that.
Facts.
Y'all take it
Long
easy.
week. Self-love, people. Self-love. Give me a hug.
100. Y'all be easy. We up out of here.